This video will explore the learning theory proposed by S Bruner. Learning through discovering is a kind of method in which the students learn by themselves. Teacher will be there, whose main work over here is to guide the students to discover about the concept and not to serve the concept. Sometimes there will be totally no guidance at all. It is a kind of situation wherein you are not given tea to drink, but you are presented with tea powder, water, milk, and sugar. You have to observe the materials, question about each material, ponder on for which purpose it is there, and try to find answers, such as maybe something related to the concept tea or tea plantations or liquid and its properties will be learnt today. The learning environment will comprise of students being encouraged to question, such as what the concept is about, why it is in this manner, what purpose it serves, etc. And they have to come up with their own tentative answers, which may be proved true or may not be proved true in near future. But what is important is that the students' thought process about it. The natural curiosity in the character of human beings has to be used over here in order to make sure learning occurs. The principles pertaining to the concept of the study has to be deduced by the students themselves. They have to work independently in order to arrive at the form, nature, applicability, etc. of the concept. As the student is actively participating and not just simply listening to the lecture and taking notes given by the teacher, it could be easily concluded that the student here is an active participant and in the process learns how to learn, which enables him or her to be lifelong learner. Moving on to the stages of cognitive development as stated by S Bruner. There are three main stages: inactive stage, iconic stage, symbolic representation stage. Inactive stage. It refers to that stage of life wherein a learner is unable to use language. It could be mother tongue or any other language. The learner is unable to use it. The learner is unable to use images for describing. The learner is unable to use symbolic representations, such as we know that this particular letter stands for a sound, but the learner at that stage is not able to attach the symbol with that of sound. Whatever the learner wants to express is expressed through the movements of hands, legs, facial expressions, and few broken sounds. Iconic stage. Now, through the help of the sense organs, learner starts to build mental images. Those images stand for one or the other thing that has been encountered in the surroundings. Lastly, symbolic representation. Learner slowly starts with using symbols such as alphabets, numbers, moves on to words or any other kind of representation. As time goes by, the learner reaches a point wherein there won't be any requirement of concrete materials for the sake of understanding. The learner becomes capable of abstract thinking. Keeping these stages in mind, Jerome S. Bruner suggested that such a curriculum must be prepared which suits the level of cognitive development. And as the learner moves up the ladder, there must be add-ons to the previously learned concept. Learning, revisiting the learned concept, and learning the add-ons must go on. Example, if the child is taught at first standard numbers, then in second standard the number concept is revisited. Then addition without carrying is taught. Then as the child will be in third standard, numbers plus addition without carrying plus addition with carrying is taught. It goes on and more complex concepts are included. A curriculum of this sort, wherein there is scope for learning, revisiting, and then learning the add-ons pertaining to a concept, is called spiral curriculum. S Bruner says discovery learning and learning to learn depends on meaningful internalization of concepts. Concept is the central part in discovery learning theory. He noticed and identified the way human beings learned concepts through various strategies. According to him, for the purpose of classification and concept learning, selection and reception are used. Selection and reception are the two crucial strategies that is often adopted. While selection strategy, in this the learners choose something to study and use their own way of concluding and forming judgments in order to classify and learn concept. In reception strategy, an expert such as a teacher or lecturer or professor provides an instance which could be positive or negative. The learner has to study about it in order to learn something in depth related to it. In both these scenarios, the learner has to be actively involved and make meaning out of it. Scanning and focusing are the two processes adopted by the learners. The steps that the learner follows in order to internalize the concepts are scanning and focusing. Under scanning, the learner assumes, hypothesizes. Example: every human is biologically wired to love, protect, and provide to their children. Yet, what makes some of them to involve themselves in female infanticide? And you hypothesize about it. Reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, etc. And you systematically study using different research tools and techniques. If you test all the hypotheses that you have listed with each number of group, it is called simultaneous scanning. If you try to test one hypothesis at a time and then you move to another hypothesis, it is called successive scanning. Under focusing, the learner pays attention to the attributes or qualities. In focus gambling, all the attributes are tested at the same time. And in conservative focus, a single attribute is taken at a time.